tell me what kind of family you grew up in. Or was it kind of like a working class family?
Yeah, my mom is a waitress. My dad was he was a jazz drummer and a trucker.
Yeah.
Worked for the Safeway trucks. And we had 6 kids in our family. I'm the youngest. And he passed away when I was 10. And so it was we struggled. I mean, we were broke, but, we weren't starving or anything like that. It was a pretty, lower middle class, working class.
That was around here, right?
Yeah, I'm from a small refinery town called Rodeo.
Yeah.
So lots of smokestacks. My brother actually works at the refineries now. So, I mean, that's where everybody's destined to do, It's either there or C&H Sugar and Crockett.
Were you, always musical? Did you always want to play something, or was this something that came on later on?
Yeah, I've always been into music. I mean, I've been into music since I was really young, 5 and stuff. Like my
What were you listening to then, I wonder?
My mom listened to a lot of country music. She comes from Oklahoma. Hence the name Billy Joe. Yeah. It's not William Joseph. It's just Billy Joe.
Really?
Yeah. And so I heard a lot of I heard lots of Elvis from my sister. And I have an older brother who's 21 years older than I am.
Wow.
So my mom is now she's 63, so I'm 23, and so she's been through every generation of kids pretty much since the 50s, the 60s, 70s, the 80s, and up until beginning of the 90s.
Yeah. Was she pretty understanding about the things that you wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, she was a real strict parent, for all of my other siblings, but I think by the time she got down to me, she was just like, hell with you. I remember I came in one time and I had this really bad haircut that my friend gave me. That was it was shaved all back here, and then it was shaved in the back right here, and then it was long in the back.
Nice.
I came in, I go, hey mom, and she's laying in bed. She goes, oh, Billy Joe, no. And she was pissed too, but what could she do about it?
Too late then.
Yeah.
This guitar that you got, where did you see it? Was it just in a music store window, or?
No. This guy George Cole. I don't know if you're familiar with a band called Beatnik Beach.
Yep.
And before that, I used to belong to a guy in Big Bang Beat or something like that. It's I don't know what the hell it is, but he had the guitar and he was kind of teaching me how to play guitar a little bit. Basically, it wasn't a guitar lesson because I learned how to read music. I just kind of went and did you learn anything out of the book? No. Well, it's jam. Yeah. So, he taught me how to put my hands on the thing.
Yeah.
And
what were you playing at that time? I mean, were you aspiring to play punk stuff, or was it? Were you going for the country thing?
No country. That's definitely not. I was into a lot of bad heavy metal and stuff. Well, some good heavy metal.
Yeah.
I mean, I really liked the first Van Halen record.
Yeah.
And,
Ozzy?
I was a big Ozzy fan.
Yeah.
I loved Randy Rhoads and stuff like that. I never really was a Black Sabbath fan.
Yeah.
But
did you ever picture yourself as one of these fleet-fingered lead players just playing really fast?
I can imagine myself. I can imagine pretty damn good, but getting there, no way. I just didn't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
That was my thing. It's I never, I just didn't, and I never wanted to sing for a band ever.
Really?
No, I just wanted to play guitar and stuff and kind of sit in the back, but I don't know. I think Mike kind of at one point just told me I didn't have a choice. He's going to kick my ass.
Were you writing stuff at this period too?
Well, the first song I wrote, it's a song called Why Do You Want Him, when I was 14. That was when I started.
Yeah.
I was getting into, my sister was a big, Replacements fan, and Husker Du and stuff. I remember, the first, sort of alternative rock show I've ever seen was REM. My sister took me when I was 13. They played in this high school gymnasium in Santa Cruz.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, REM, they're not metal, dude, and I went, and it was and the 3 o'clock opened up for him.
Oh, wow.
And it was a religious experience for me. It was they say every 7 years there's certain moments that change your life.
Yeah.
I think that was definitely one of them. I just it wasn't so much the music or the band, but it was just the whole atmosphere. And I just remember watching Peter Buck was he was playing he was playing this Rickman, like the monitors or the PA system was really bad or something. So he was like strumming on his guitar really hard. Everybody already walked off stage, and he was just going, just hammering on it. And then finally, he just takes this Rickenbacker and just swings it in the air and just smashes on the ground. And I was like, yeah! That was like the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life because it was anger. It was straight up aggression. You know, I mean, REM isn't quite the aggressive kind of band, but you know, at that time they were. Yeah, I was impressed. I was 13. You know.
Ode to Billy Joe. We'll be back with. Welcome back to MTV News Raw with Green Day. Now, spotlight on the band's rhythm section. Mike Dirnt and Trey Cool. So, what were the beginnings of the band like? What did you start out playing? Did you realize you wanted to write original stuff at first, or?
We me and Billy wrote our first song together in like 1986.
Yeah,
no, 87.
What was it?
My freshman year. Was it Strangeland? Or no, it wasn't Strangeland. It was Best Thing in Town.
Oh.
A song called Best Thing in Town.
Is it like a love song? Or?
No, it's come along, let's go for a ride. Come along and to the other side. Just Best Thing in Town, you know. Got a girl's best thing in town. There's nothing to do where you're at, you know, type of thing. And you know, they're all on tape. They're all on CDs and stuff.
Yeah.
Or you know, a lot of songs we wrote back then aren't on CDs and stuff. But those are just chord changes now.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. They're not even songs anymore.
Did you look at this as something you could go ahead and pursue for like years?
I didn't think we had any future in this. It was really fun for a long time. We just play. Anywhere and everywhere was our motto. Our old drummer had a VW bus, and he could drive, you know. And so it was anywhere and everywhere was the motto.
Yeah.
And we just went. We've played everywhere we can possibly imagine, from existentialist churches to banks to bathrooms to rooftops to the middle of the street to people's kitchens to, I mean, lots of places.
Yeah.
And you do whatever you can. And you just, I have friends will come up and say, oh, what was your secret? How'd you get discovered and this and that? And I just haven't talked to them in a long time. And, most people, who are actually out there plugging away, no, it's not a discover thing.
Yeah.
I think we just kind of realized after our second record, oh, okay, we have something here,
Yeah.
We keep going. We were ready to break up before Kerplunk came out.
Really?
Because our old drummer left, and it took me and Trey and Billy Joe a while to learn how to play together.
Yeah. Rolling? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, well, you listen to Gershwin. Are there, like, seriously, do you play other instruments besides drums?
I have a little guitar, a little one, about this big.
What else do you listen to in the way of music?
All kinds of, like, a lot of Beatles. I like the Beatles, know.
And
normal stuff.
And the other lads?
Kind of, like a lot of old, like Billy listens to like a lot of old like vinyl and stuff, like Fang and just like old like punk stuff. And, it's not, we didn't like grow up on that stuff though. It's kind of like we kind of learned about it afterwards.
And you feel strange when people say, "Gee, it's this new punk thing."
And I'm like, yeah, you guys are like, you're like the Pistols and what? Or, you guys are like, the Clash. I was like, oh man. They're not an influence on us. Like, were you influenced in a big way by this, 76? It's like, nah. Right on.
Who would you say your influences were, if there were any?
We're influenced the opposite of what influences usually are. Like, we're influenced on, like, what we hated. Like Hall & Oates, like, all this, Cyndi Lauper, all this, like, 80s crap.
Yeah.
That
just didn't want to be that.
All, like, the mainstream 80s crap.
Yeah.
Like, the whole Martha Quinn era. Whatever.
So you said if we could just avoid being that, we'll have accomplished something?
Yeah, it's like, like, what's lame about that? Oh, that, hammer-on 10-minute guitar solo. Okay, what's lame about that? Oh, all this, girls in bikinis, like, running around. What's lame about that? Oh, like, it sucks. Yeah, I just, I don't know.
Do you think
know what sucks.
Do you think we live at a better age now? Do you think people are more attuned to these things?
That hole in the ozone's the size of Europe now, and I don't think it was back then, but...
Well, we're still walking around, though.
Yeah. This is the last couple of years that we'll be able to walk around without the sunscreen, Enjoy it.
That's a very upbeat way of looking at it. Okay, Kelly?
Well, obviously you're concerned about the ozone and stuff in the future, because you have a daughter. Has that...
See, that's a good segue.
What, having a daughter?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, it makes me, I don't think I would
be as like, concerned about, the future if I didn't have some offspring. Forget I said that word, offspring.
We'll just leave that out.
If I didn't have a child, I wouldn't care so much about what was going to happen. I'm starting to like make friends with some like, other parents and stuff too,
Yeah, right. Are they surprised to find that you're a down-to-earth guy and not some wild rock and roll guy?
No. I'm not down to earth.
Well, no, I didn't mean that as a
pretty
slur.
wild guy. Let me tell you. I let my hair down sometimes.
Do you think you'll be fixing this room up a little bit, or?
What's wrong with it?
The heat.
The heat? It wouldn't be so hot if you didn't have all these dome lights.
Oh, blame it on us. Okay, I think that's good for me. Do you have any more questions, Kelly?
No.
I think you can go. Thank you.
We're all capitated.
What was that?